Hey everybody, this is Candace Adewale of the Loving You Lifestyle, and I am back with another video. Happy May to everybody. I hope that everyone is in good spirits and handling the temporary physical distancing well. I absolutely refuse to say social distancing. It's just funny how people are so trendy and they will start saying whatever they hear on TV that's trendy and popular instead of really taking the time to focus on what those words mean. I try to be very deliberate about my words because I understand that the power of my words will create certain things and manifest itself into reality in my life. And so for me, I am not using the term social distancing because I feel like it's psychologically damaging and it creates a certain level of fear about being around other people. So I am choosing to say temporary physical distancing. So I'm just throwing that out there. So, anyways, I hope that all of you are taking things in stride with this temporary physical distancing. I understand from what I'm hearing on the news here in Istanbul, Turkey, and other parts of the world that things are going to start opening up very soon. And I'm not quite sure how far to the old normal things will go, but we'll definitely be able to move past this state that we're in. That we're um, and move towards something better, God first. So, anyways, yeah, I want to throw that out there. I am still in Istanbul. I've been here now 2 months. It's unbelievable. I just got news that international flights will not be leaving from Turkey until the first or second week of June. So I will probably be here a good 3 months. It's crazy. So, anyways, let's just jump right back and right into the topic that I want to talk about. And it's casting pearls before swine. Now, I'm not necessarily the most religious person anymore, but again, I am spiritual and there are Bible scriptures that I really appreciate. But I had a situation happen, and I'll explain that in a minute, that made this scripture come to my mind. And it really shifted my whole perspective. And that is Matthew 7:6. That's the Bible scripture. And it says, "Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you into pieces." And I was like, wow, that is just so deep. Like, you can take that so many different ways. But I think that that's important for us to really meditate on as women living consciously feminine lives, because you will have energetic vultures um, come into your life. And if you are in a position like I am, where you're like a life coach or you do service work and things like that, you really will encounter people who are um, energetic vultures. And I think that we have to learn how to preserve our feminine energy from people like that and our times and talents and gifts. So I think I have shifted to a place where I am choosing to live authentically in my feminine. I have made it a complete lifestyle. And after years of coaching women, or trying to coach women, trying to help women, um, I realized that there were a lot of women who only wanted access to me if having me meant I was basically free of charge or whoring out my knowledge that I paid thousands for, and not really wanting to do the hard work. I hear a lot of times, and I understand a little bit where it's coming from, but I hear in a lot of these level up groups, women scoffing at other women who charge for knowledge. Oh, really? Nobody's supposed to pay for knowledge? Isn't that why you go to college? College is not free. You're paying for knowledge. Just because this knowledge on femininity or specific knowledge on men or relationships or how to navigate your life, things that are not taught in a traditional educational system, not because those things are not taught in that type of system, doesn't mean you get access to the information for free. Like, what kind of low class woman do you have to be to think that, and entitled to think that you deserve access to knowledge for free just because what? Just because you're cute? Like, I don't understand that. So I realized over the years that there are women whom I would come across that, they didn't understand that for me to gain the knowledge that I went through, that I had to maybe pay an author maybe $1,000 for their time just to sit and pick their brains so that I could come around and turn around and teach them. Or maybe they didn't understand that I had to travel across the country to California to conduct a roundtable interview with experts that deal with human psychology as it relates to mating and relating and partner choices. So for people to then turn around and think that you're scamming somebody just because you're charging money, or thinking that it's unreasonable to ask for $200, $300, $400 for a course that's going to literally help change the direction of their lives for free. It just began to wear on me and become burdensome and too much. Like, it really wore on my spirit, and I began feeling turned off. And then too, it's like when I've always had the passion for helping women. One of the things that I always said when I realized my purpose is that I want to make women feel beautiful on the inside and out. So I have a true love for women. I have a true love for women living their best lives and creating sisterhood and just wanting people to win. And so when I encounter women who, over the years, have come to me for help, and then to see them not put forth the hard work, like they literally just want this easy 3-step program plan where you tell them exactly what to do, and they don't have to do any hard work. It's just disheartening. It's disheartening. And I went through, I think this past year or two has been emotionally the hardest for me because, one, I'm a Taurus and we kind of like have a hard time letting things go. I get that. um, but, I want to see people do well. So when I see that women are being so lazy about their life journey, and you see the same person year after year after year, and they keep coming to you, they don't want to do even what you told them to do for free, but they're back in your face complaining and emotionally draining you, telling you the same sob stories over and over again. It just becomes, really tiresome. So I realized that in my life, all I had done was substitute low value men for low value and low vibrational women. So I recently had two situations where two women reached out to me. Both of the women had worked with me in the past over the years. And one woman in particular, um, she reached out to me after leaving the private group that I had on Facebook after she got in her feelings about the topic of weight loss. Now, this is a side note. I am not going to be that teacher that's going to tell you that in the level up movement, you don't need to lose weight, especially if your goal is marriage and hypergamy. I'm not going to lie to you and say you don't need to lose weight because it's irresponsible of me to do that. Now, I know there are certain people who don't want to hear that, but it's true. So, anyways, this woman got in her feelings about the weight issue. And maybe she was in her feelings about some other things, but I know for a fact the weight loss piece was big because she would post counter body positive uh, posts in the group when she was there. And I was like, no, I'm not going to allow you to be delusional because when you really care about somebody and you want the best for them and they are telling you what their goals are, then as a coach and a teacher, I can't allow you to live where you are. I'm going to say things to you that make you feel uncomfortable, not in a mean way, but I need to say them. And I need to be honest with you because honesty is what's going to grow you, not lies of hearing that you're perfect the way that you are and that people should just love you for you because that's a bunch of bullcrap, to be quite honest. So this woman again got in her feelings and she left the group about the weight loss piece. So um, I knew that she would eventually circle back. I had actually said that with my former team teacher, Fatih Farasha, and um, we both agreed at the time that she'll be back. She'll bump her head a few times and she'll be back. Lo and behold, she did come back. She came back and and she wanted help. She actually came back twice. There was a time that she came back, and we were asking for an investment, a $5 monthly investment in a fashion level up group that goes over the psychology of fashion and your choices and leveling up. She said that she couldn't afford that. I won't lie. It was a little difficult for me to believe that. Um, she couldn't come up with $5 a month. I mean, as much as people waste money, it was unbelievable to me. But hey, if you say you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And so, I just let it go. So almost another year goes by and she reaches out to me, I think it was like last month. And she writes an email. Now, granted, through the time that she was away, things had transpired in my life and where I um, am headed as far as being a part of the femininity community, the level up community, working with women. And I had just grown tired of a lot of things. So when she wrote me back, I was very, I was very happy to hear from her. And I was just being very open to her coming back. And I'm going to see if I can find the letter really quickly because I don't want to be telling any kind of lies on anybody. Let me see. I'm going to find it. Oh, goodness. Why is this not working right? Okay, here it is. I found it. Okay, so this was my letter to her. I said, "Hey, lovely, good morning, and good to hear from you. We are doing well during this period of time during the quarantine. I hope you and your daughter are doing the same. To answer your question, yes, you would need to participate on Facebook. Since you are taking a Facebook break, I'm going to ask that you use this time as reflection. Focus on doing inner and outer work. I'll be very honest. I'm no longer willing to work with women who aren't serious about getting to their goal weight and working on their personal style. I just don't have the energy anymore. With that being said, use the remainder of the year to also focus on any weight loss you may need to do. Also, if you still have access to the Wife Lifestyle courses, go over them as a refresher. This year is still full of wonderful possibilities if we take advantage of the time that has been given. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to ask. Sending you and your daughter lots of love and light. Kind regards, Candace. Now, this is the letter that I sent to her in response to her letter. She writes me back and she says, Candace, you've misread and misjudged me on multiple occasions now. Why did you make me feel welcome, then reject me in many ways you have? I've always been a paid individual. There's never been a time that I didn't pay for services rendered. The welcome isn't welcoming at all. I don't want to waste my energy no more than you. If I wasn't prepared, then I would have never reached back out in the first place. Your assumptions is yours, and I guess my healing is my own. Take care. And then I wrote her a letter back, telling her that I was not trying to attack her personally, and that if she wanted to, she could call me on my personal number, which I rarely give anybody on Facebook. I don't care how long I know you, my personal number, but I had one to reach her. She was still in her feelings, and anyways, she basically said, "Oh, that's okay. I don't want to call you. I'm done with you. I won't be reaching out anymore." And see, it let me know when she did that, it let me know that she still wasn't ready, because she took it as a rejection, and I wasn't rejecting her. I was simply guiding her and giving her a few assignments to do while she was taking her Facebook break. That way, when she came back from Facebook, she would be ready to jump in. Why would I make you pay $5 a month and you're not on Facebook to reap the benefits of it? Like, that's really not intelligent, is it? But after dealing with women like her for so long, it made me think about how much I've been casting pearls before swine. Women who are so deeply entrenched in victimhood, they can't move past uh, certain hurts. They're so overly sensitive about anything that they can't even see when someone is trying to help them. They can't even respect the fact that you've set certain boundaries of engagement for yourself. And her letter in particular, that interaction with her in particular, really hit that home that you absolutely have to preserve your feminine energy, and you have to really be choosy about who you share your times, talents, and gifts with. And then there was another woman, and that similarly was about the weight loss piece. They inboxed me saying, Candace, oh my God, I am starting to give up hope, and I feel like I'm never going to get married. Um, I don't know what to do, et cetera, et cetera. And then I asked her a few important questions, and I'm going to see if I can find that transaction, that what transpired there as well. I don't know if I can find that because it was a little while ago. But anyways, basically, I asked her a few key questions. I asked her, one, has she reached her goal, weight loss? Her weight loss goal. Two, if she had identified the type of man that she would like to be with, or the type of men that she would like to be with, and did she think that those types of men would feel attracted to her? Her response to me was, I've really given up on losing weight. And she is very overweight. Um, but that is neither here nor there. But my main problem was, it's like, she said she gave up on her weight loss goal. She said she didn't know if she was the type of woman that her ideal man or men would even like. And, my response to her was, how can you even begin to, how can I help you when you have already said that you have given up on making yourself as marketable as you possibly can be? to really expand your dating pool. I mean, it can be rough out here on these streets. And when you're dating, you have to look at yourself as a product and that you are marketing yourself. And if especially if you want to be hypergamous, if you want to, if you want to, if you want to marry up or marry within a certain group of men, then you need to really do whatever it takes to make yourself as marketable as possible. So, she was telling me that she was giving up on herself, that in that way, and she was just going to love herself the way she was. And I told her, it's nothing wrong with loving yourself. You should love yourself at whatever weight you are. I was like, I'm really, again, speaking on your marketability. And I told her, I was like, I don't really know what to tell you. If you're not willing to lose weight, then all you can do is really play up your other aspects of your femininity, try to get your style and hair together as much as possible, and then just kind of hope for the best. So, like, especially in a situation like this where men have been quarantined, then we may all be in luck. Because the situation is has changed drastically as it's related to dating, mating, and relating. So, anyways, though, it brings me back to the whole thing of that I was saying, casting your pearls before swine, before women who don't want to do the work. In my case, and in your case, it may not be that. It might be your job. It might be friends in your life. It might be clients if you have a business or whatnot. But I have entertained um, a lot of women who have victimhood mentality, and I think that is the piece that really, really started to bother me and make me come to some various conclusions that I had to live my life a little differently. I had to shape my path a little bit differently. And, it's like I said, I felt like at a certain point I had traded low vibrational men for low vibrational women. And the first it's like, okay, well, I want to help these women elevate, but they really didn't want the help. They kind of just wanted to be like a leech and suck all the energy away from you, hoping that maybe some of your sparkle and shine or some of my sparkle and shine would kind of rub off on them. I had to take full responsibility for that because in the end, it was really my fault because I never set the standards. I didn't set the rules of engagement. And I started doing it late in the game because I was still naive in the fact that I was expecting the best behavior out of women whom I wanted to help. And, you can't do that. No matter if you're engaging men or women, you have to have standards, you have to have rules of engagement. And I realized that there were some areas of me that were still broken. And the scripture became even more true, especially the part that says every time they will crush you, crush your beauty, crush your beautiful pearls. And then, excuse me, y'all, uh, then they will turn and attack you. And I'm like, wow, if that is not the truth. Oh my goodness. So I want to give you 6 tips to protect your feminine energy from energetic vultures, from the swine, as we can call it, that will just crush you in the end. Number 1, avoid arguing on and offline. I made a vow to myself this year that I was not going to be in the comment section. The comment section will trigger you. And now I will admit something. I had actually not been posting on social media as much as I did in the past because I was really trying to protect my energy and I was really tired because I felt like there were a lot of people who would jump in my inbox for advice and for questions. And it was really making me feel turned off to know that when I would then turn and tell them, like, okay, well, that's fine, but for my professional services, because after all, I am a certified licensed life coach within the state of Florida. Well, for my professional time and services, this is how much I charge, to help you with your problem. And then they wouldn't talk to me. So I just started feeling like really turned off. And I said, you know what? I'm not even engaging these people. um, I'm not going to get in arguments online anymore. I'm not planning on making any inflammatory posts. I'm not talking about 50-50 anymore. I'm not talking about anything that's triggering because I don't feel like arguing with people. Or if I see a post that triggered me, I was like, I'm not going to comment on it. And I was doing really good up until we were quarantined, and then I got a little bored. So there were maybe 3 or 4 times where I engaged in the comments section, but I've pulled myself out of there since. But avoid arguments off and online. The best thing that you can do is simply just say, okay, okay. In the argument with by saying, okay, you're right. And just let people think that they're right because people want to be right. People have a deep need to be right. So just let people think that they're right. Keep on moving. Number 2, stand firm in your truth and who you are. Just learn to be unshakable. Know that you are valuable. Know that your time, your talent, your gifts, um, your femininity, all of those things are precious. And don't waver from that. Number 3, don't allow everyone to have access to you. Be like the geisha. Be picky and choosy about who gets to have access to you and when. It's absolutely essential for your peace of mind. Make sure to carve out time and you have a schedule that's dedicated to yourself, and don't allow other people to permeate that don't deserve to be in your presence. And that includes learning how to cut people off. And I've said that time and time again over the years. Number 4, it's okay to have a paywall. And this tip is really for those who are dating, those who are business women, feminine business women. It's okay to have a paywall up in front of you. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned is by charging what you're worth as a business professional, you will weed out people who just want to waste your time. Because people who truly, truly value you, they truly, truly value your knowledge, they will not be afraid to pay for it. If they feel like what you do truly adds value to their lives, they're going to pay. And the same thing goes for dating. Make sure that you have a paywall up before engaging with people, because people value what they pay for, men and women. If they paid $500 for something, you best believe they're going to want their $500 worth. But when you give it away for free, then they're not going to value it and they're not going to value you. You become an informational whore or whatever other type of whore that there is out there. And you just don't want to do that as high value women. Vet properly and trust your intuition. That has been such a big piece for me recently because sometimes people will you'll encounter people who think that they know you better than you know you, and they will try to shake your core. Or even if they don't intend to shake your core, sometimes people can say things to you that make you think that you can't trust yourself. But I want you all to be firmly rooted in your feminine, firmly rooted in your sacral chakras, your womb space energy, so that you can make decisions for your life for that place. So when you are choosing who to engage with, I don't care if it's male or female, if it's for a business relationship or a personal um, relationship, I want you to be able to trust your gut feeling. And so for me, I'm sorry, had a call that kind of interrupted things there for a second. um, for me, I have learned to just, instead of being scared and keeping a closed heart, I just choose to vet properly. Ask the important questions, ask the tough questions, um, so that you know who exactly you're dealing with. Let people talk so they can they can tell on themselves, and you can get more information from them, and so you'll know exactly, like I said, who you're dealing with, and trust your intuition. One of the things that I have been doing recently, as it comes to dating in particular, is really trusting my gut. When I look at a man's pictures, when I look at his eyes, when I have a conversation with him for the first time, my intuition is pretty darn good, to the point where I know whether or not this is a guy I like, whether or not I think that he's full of it or whatnot. And every single time that I have second guessed myself, even for a split second, I find out that I was right. So, what I am learning to do is truly trust myself. And the older I get, my birthday is on Tuesday. The older I get, the more powerful I feel in my womanhood, as I learn to trust myself and I become rock solid in who I am as a woman. It's so empowering and so liberating. I never in a million years, like, I look back on my life and I think about the timid, shy girl who would walk to the bus stop in the inner cities of Cleveland by myself sometimes, and how shy I was. I would get on the bus in the morning, and of course, you always have like little ratchet ghetto kids on the bus. So I would get on the bus, I would sit in front of the bus, and I would pretend like I was asleep the entire way to school, because of course, baby's kids, I'm aging myself, but baby's them kids um just didn't know how to act right on the bus. Like, clearly they had no home training, and they would make everyone's life miserable on the bus. But anyways, I say all that because to come from that place of feeling so unsure, scared, shy, timid, low self esteem, to being to the point where I can look in the eyes of someone's photo and just make decisions like, okay, I'm going to trust what my gut is telling me about this person's energy and spirit, or to be able to talk to them and have one conversation and just decide, okay, no, this is not the person for me, is so empowering. And so my goal for myself from this month forward is to make intuitive decisions. And I think the more intuitive decisions you make for your life as a woman, the more you can stand in your feminine power. So just practice doing that. And I challenge you to start making decisions. Just try for 30 days. Just get out of your headspace and listen, and get in that place where you're really listening to your heart space, and go with that, and just see what happens. Um, and you will start trusting your intuition a lot more. And just remember the things, what helps us to make better heart based decisions is remembering what we saw, heard, and what we felt. And what we felt will help you when you're making those intuitive decisions. Lastly, is number 6: don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle for any kind of client. Don't settle for any kind of friendships. Don't settle for any kind of man, whatever it is. Don't live a life of mediocrity. That's not spiritual at all. When you don't settle, you will choose the best. And then you won't be casting your beautiful, beautiful pearls before swine. You'll be casting them before people who value your time, value your energy, value your beauty, value your talents, value your skill set and your knowledge and your power and your wisdom, all of those things when you don't settle. So I think for me, I am just on a new program in life, a new path. I am really kind of switching my focus in the femininity sector from teaching femininity to, to focusing on helping women in the level up community who are going to want to relocate abroad and also want to travel for medical purposes. So be on the lookout for my Global Citizens program. I'm going to be starting that very, very soon. If you are a woman who is courageous and passionate about expanding your options, outside of the US or wherever it is you live, and you want to have someone help you that can create the path of least resistance and make the transition as smooth as possible, I'm going to be here to assist with all of the people that I have had assist me. So you will have access to my team of people that have helped me to do what I do abroad. But be on the lookout for that. I'll always write my books on femininity, and I'm still working on my book, my third book about femininity and just living a consciously feminine lifestyle. But I think that's kind of what I was doing before in the femininity sector. I definitely won't be doing anymore because I just feel like I'm just not valued in that way, and I just can't subject myself to people who don't value me anymore. But I am full of passion and I'm full of fire. Uh, I realize that when you're in that energy, you're in constant flow, and constant flow means constant evolution and creation. So what I say is, those people that I resonate with and you're resonating with me, then I said, let's ride this journey together. And for those who don't, that's fine. Those are the people that I can't focus on anymore because it definitely would be casting my pearls before swine in those cases. Anyways, I hope that you found this talk beneficial for your life. I want to thank you all again for listening to me thus far. Make sure to please subscribe to this channel. We are almost at 1,000 followers, and I feel like being extremely generous if we get to 1,000 followers very quickly before the end of May. And I'm gonna do like a special giveaway when we get there. But yes, be sure to subscribe, like, share this video. I will also ask that you to follow me on Instagram, and I will leave a link to those things in the description box. I want all of you to have a beautiful self-care Sunday. You all take care and stay blissfully feminine. Ciao.